All right, this is the Stenonema Rangers of Ontario, and I'm going to do a tour of Ranger Ridge. That's our camp, our base camp, and what it's all about, what we're all about. And anyway, down here, way down in there, is where our campsite is. So anyway, I'm going to take you down. Hopefully it won't keep raining. There's the car, so you can see where we're going here. Anyway, we started this whole thing a while ago, and actually we called ourselves Stenonema Rangers because I was doing some reconstruction work on a stream for some specific mayflies to help give them the best habitat possible for reproduction. So there's the car again. And anyway, right after we filmed a little documentary video, Ben said, hey Dad, we're saving the world one Stenonema at a time. So we became the Stenonema Rangers. Anyway, what we do is very simple. A lot of virgin forest like this is being inundated with the city. You know, unfortunately, I like the Bruce Trail idea, but unfortunately, the Bruce Trail puts something on the map. Once something's on the map, you can't take it off the map. People come and visit it, they leave their garbage behind, a whole bunch of crap, and the fish populations of brook trout in the area where I grew up since I was a child, because I've grown up camping and fishing here since I was a kid, is pretty much being killed off. The brook trout count is the best it's been in the last 4 years. Right now. So we did do a lot of restoration work for them, but we also started doing animal habitat restoration. And like, for example, we built a shelter at one of our sites, and well, a doe gave birth to a I guess what you call a little fawn in the shelter, and that was pretty cool. So that kind of inspired us to start making animal shelters and providing things for animals. So that's what we do. We do a little bit of forestry management here, with helping trees that are getting drowned out by other trees a chance to grow. So this is our path here. As you can see, it's a wonderful path. It's so easy to tell. I like my path. Like my Aunt Nancy said about, she goes, you mean the path that goes nowhere? Yeah, that's our path. The path that goes nowhere. I like that. Because, unfortunately, with city people coming here, they steal your stuff. And that happened once. And we moved, and we ended up making this place. Now, the only reason we built a building to sleep in, which is a lean-to in the trees, is because when we're here, if we're spending all of our time drying our stuff out of a flooded tent, and breaking up little firewood, we're really not able to have any time to get anything else done. So by setting up a building, and a firewood building and a storage building, this means that all the time that I'm here, I can actually do other things. Here we are, we're coming in. I was going to build a deer shelter, or start a deer shelter just over here on the other side where there's a bit of a clearing, but our roof still has a small leak in it, and my bag got wet. Not a lot, but enough, and it's really cold and damp and stuff, and I don't have to stay, because this is a throwing knife board, and well, it had a Bin Laden on it, but just in case, decided we should take that off and just leave it blank like that. He'll just be the green guy, whatever the green guy is. I'm not putting up an animal. You know, I'm not putting up a deer or something like that, because I don't hunt and I don't believe in killing anything. I won't even kill a slug unless it's absolutely necessary. Anyway, this is our little firewood building. We store our firewood and tools there. And this is the main building, which is where we sleep. And you'll notice something really cool. The shavings are because I just finished making bows. I was making bows here while I was here for the trip. But you'll notice I took an old wood stove apart and brought it down here. And because it's been raining since 2 in the morning. There's no fire risk at all, but I have a metal plate that goes up against this. And with this old wood stove and a spark arresting chimney, there is absolutely no risk of fire whatsoever, even though I'm right underneath of a cedar tree. But it makes almost no sparks at all, and we use it when we really need to use it, and that's about it. This is Shrew Man. Hi, Shrew Man. That's Shrew Man's grave that Ben did for him. You probably saw the pictures of him in the little video of Shrew Man. But this is Shrew Man's grave site, and he'll always be there. And we go down here, and there's a double camo sink, and that goes down to the stream. And then right over on this side here, there's a spring actually underneath of us completely. This whole thing, we're sitting on a spring, but there's thousands and thousands of gallons of perfect, crisp, clean water that pours out on a regular basis. I'll take you over to the flute where I show you where I can get the water. But anyway, we restructured this and elevated the roof an extra 8 inches and pitched it up differently because the tarp's getting old and it was leaking, so we put plastic underneath of it. But there was a few holes in the plastic I didn't know about when I put it up. One of them's over there. Of course, there's a piece missing there that I never got a chance to put in yet. But for some particular reason on this seam right here, it decided it was going to leak on my bag, and my bag's wet. So anyway, because it's raining and drizzling and cold, and it's going to be really cold and damp tonight, I'm going to just head home. But I wanted to film this video. So anyway, this is the main building, fireplace, the firewood storage, and that's a storage tent. So when we come down, when we first get here, we put all of our stuff in here, and it stays in there while we sleep in there. So this is our deck area. Yeah, and we'll go around back here. We're doing some clearing, but we're also transplanting. You see all these nice little short green guys that you see, these little fir trees? These are all transplanted. Because the problem is that the firs grow so quickly here and so rapidly that they drowned everything else out. So what we do is we cut them back. We use them for building materials. We transplant them in other places to give the cedars and other trees a chance to grow and thin this out a little bit, because this is going to be a shooting range. There's a clearing all the way down there. I got a pulley and all that, so it'll be a shooting range. And eventually they'll be able to have a tent on here. That's our stack of cherry wood. There's the back of the building. So anyway, let's go. Oh yeah, there's our bone collection. Me and Ben went out collecting because we found a femur that looked like it could have been a coy wolf. Turns out it was a deer, and sure enough, we found more parts. We found enough parts for 3 deers. Still a whole bunch of parts missing, but it was fun to go collecting the bones. So anyway, yeah, this is from the outbuilding area, looking over at the campsite. The wood stove's right there, so you get a bearing on things. And this is our little tool and storage building where we have a bin with all the tools in it and store other stuff in. And now we'll go down to the spring. And all this here is all spring. Just gallons and gallons and gallons. We're basically floating, you might say. So anyway, I'm going to show you the flute that's sticking out. You can see some of the water right there running through, because this is all hollow under here. So anyway, this is where we come to get our water. You can see the flute there sticking out with the water coming off. We sit our pots or whatever on that rock and fill up with water, and we've been drinking the water now for almost 4 years. Well, 3 years now, and we've never had one problem. And it's not surprising, because here in North America you only really have 2 pathogens or parasites to worry about, and that's Cryptosporidium and Giardia. Well, that's ice cold spring water, and it's moving fast, and neither one of those will live in that kind of water. They like warm, stagnant, non-moving water is typically what they're more apt at. So anyway, now we're coming back in from the spring into the campsite. So anyway, that's just a little tour of our campsite, but our whole idea is so I can get a kid out of the city and teach him things that he can't learn in the city, and at the same time try and make a difference out here to help animals and to reconstruct the stream for fish. And it's just a nice way to spend the summer. It's kind of like a cottage, but it's better than a cottage. It's rougher than a cottage, that's for sure. This is definitely rough going, but it's worth it. Anyway, this is our little base camp. Can't show you everything because it's just that everything is so wet, and I'm not getting my camera wet. Anyway, that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.